Look at the magnificent and gorgeous scenes, watch the ups and downs of the plot, watch the superb acting skills, watch the demeanor of handsome men and beautiful women. Everyone has their preferences, and I'm not a regular at the movies. But after watching the upcoming 1921, it is inevitable to ponder. There are many wonderful interpretations of familiar historical fragments and many unknown story details. What is more emotional is the passion of the group of fire thieves. This passion has changed China. They are pioneers. Their pioneering work changed the fate of tens of millions of Chinese people and rewritten the future of 9.6 million square kilometers of China. The protagonists, of course, are 13 people. This is the best entrepreneurial team in the world. The company was registered in 1921, and the capital was close to zero. At that time, there were hundreds of political parties in Chinese society, and the CCP was only one of them. But after 28 years of hard work, it finally defeated Western multinational companies and strong domestic competitors. It was listed on the main board market on October 1, 1949, but this was just a new beginning. But it has also the team with the highest elimination rate in the world. Among the 13 people, Wang Jinyai died in 1925, Deng Enming died in 1931, He Shuhen died in 1935, and Chen Tenkai died in 1943. Among the 13 people, so many died heroically. In addition, there were 7 people who left the team halfway and were expelled from the party. Chen Gongbo and Zhou Zhihai later became big traitors. There are only 2 people with firm beliefs from beginning to end, Mao Zedong. Dong Dewo. The road is blue, the suffering is brilliant. 2. The 13 people are the protagonists, but the protagonists in the movie, I think there are 4 people, South Chen North Li, Young Mao Zedong and Young Lida. Nan Chen, Chen Duxiu. In 1921, Chen Duxiu is played by Chen Kun. The initiator and leader of the New Culture movement, the commander-in-chief of the May 4th movement, and one of the main founders of the Communist Party of China, he showed tenacity as soon as he appeared on the stage, threw leaflets in person, and walked into the prison. With disheveled hair and plain robes, he walked out of the prison slowly, no longer exquisite chic, but generous determination, the calmness and passion of a revolutionary. He said, "The warlord wants me to die, but I want China to live." And Li Dazao. If Chen Duxiu's passion is exposed, Li Dazao is as quiet as the sea. Even if he rushed to visit Chen Duxiu in prison, Li Dazao, played by Li Chen, remained calm and confident. But introversion is his temperament, and his spirit is also high-spirited and passionate. It's just that he condenses his passion into actions and pens. The bell of humanity is ringing. The dawn of freedom has dawned. Just look at the future of the world, it must be a world of red flags. His articles such as The Victory of Bolshevism and The Victory of the Common People published in New Youth were the first in China to advocate Marxism has influenced and changed the fate of countless Chinese youth. He said, "Our mission will begin." When I saw some media, I said that Chen Kun integrated the gusting sense of power that he often had in his past performances into every look, every line, and the rhythm of every step. There is a scene in which Chen Duxiu, played by Chen Kun, and Li Dazao, played by Li Chen, are discussing the future of China in prison. Chen Kun's eyes were filled with tears without the director's prompting. Director Wang, who was behind the monitor, lamented that this detail exceeded his expectations. He felt that the character should be in the state at this moment, but he did not remind the actor. This is the tacit understanding between an excellent director and an excellent actor. On the gallows, Li Dazao, played by Li Chen, went to death with a calm and generous demeanor, which moved all the staff on the set. South Chen North Li, meet to build a party. With the efforts of the 2 pioneers and the assistance of other founders, the Communist Party of China was established in 1921. The face of the Chinese Revolution has thus taken on a new look. 3. In the movie 1921, there are 2 more important protagonists. One is young Mao Zedong, played by Wang Ranjun. He was a representative of Hunan province at that time, and he was the leader who created the new China in the future. People are too familiar with this character, but 1921 has a new interpretation. Through a series of stories and details, it shows the feelings, patterns, ideals, and sacrifices of the leaders of the Communist Party of China. In the movie, Mao Zedong appeared as a part-time worker in the Shanghai laundry room, practicing work-study mutual aid. It's a little known piece of history, and it's the first time he's been shown on the big screen. Young Mao Zedong, although dressed plainly, has bright eyes, full of hope and longing for the future, and the vigor and confidence of the young chairman are all in it. Also, in order to go to Shanghai to attend the First National Congress, the scene of Mao Zedong and Yang Kai departing in the rain is not only in line with the psychology of young lovers, but also in line with the identity of revolutionary youth. This wasn't their first parting, but in the end, for the sake of the revolution, they separated for good. Another protagonist is Lita, played by Wang Xian. This important figure who once left the party, and eventually a theoretical master in the party, is the most important figure in the skip film. And, of course, her new wife, Wang Weibua, played by Nini. In fact, today we say that the Communist Party of China is the best entrepreneurial team. The original allusion comes from a letter written by Mao Zedong to Lita in 1948. At that time, Mao Zedong, who was directing the liberation of the whole of China in Zibepo, wrote to his fellow countryman and friend Lita, "My brother is one of the founders of the company. Now the company's business is booming. I hope you can join in the operation soon." Indeed, without Lita's efforts, the Chinese Communist Party would still have been established, but probably not in July of that year. It was Lita who made contact in the middle, wrote letters to Mao Zedong, whom he had never met at the time, and wrote letters to early communists from all over the country, and came to Shanghai for a meeting. In fact, the Jiaxing Red Boat was a painting boat rented by Wang Weibua to the South Lake after a large group of delegates were forced to transfer from Shanghai. The entrepreneurs of the party were impassioned in the boat, and the young Wang Weibua stood still in the rain at the bow of the boat. In another scene, the newlyweds talked about Tinder on the rooftop, and then, unable to restrain himself, Lita said to Wang Weibua, "Let me sing you a song," which is international just translated by Zhen Zhenhua. "Arise, you who are followed by the curse, wicked and slaves of the whole world. Our disturbed rationality is about to boil. Get ready to fight to the death. We destroyed the great power of the world, and destroyed him down to the root. We will see a new world. As long as he has nothing. This is the last fight. United until tomorrow. International. It must be realized." The two burst into tears. For the destiny of the motherland, but also for the mission of young people. It was this group of people with an average age of 28 that ignited the fire of hope in China. The fire also encountered difficulties, but in the end, a single spark can start a prairie fire. In terms of storyline, 1921 is unique, with at least 3 clues. The main line is that a large group of representatives overcame difficulties and gathered in Shanghai from all over the country. 2 sublines, one is Marin, the representative of the Communist International, who escaped the monitoring and pursuit of the European anti-communist forces. The other is the hostility and monitoring of the communists by Japanese agents in Shanghai. In addition, other early communists are interspersed, such as Li Dazhao and Chen Duxiu, who had to stay in Beijing and Guangzhou to fight, and Zhou Enlai, the youth leader in Paris, and Deng Xiaoping, the doctor mimeographer. In a sense, this is also a narrative from a global perspective. It includes not only the contradictions and conflicts, humiliation and resistance within China, but also gains and struggles abroad, as well as the covetousness of China. The birth of the Communist Party of China itself has its grand background. This group of young people with an average age of 28, they are fire stealers, the light of hope shines in their eyes, and the fire of passion is ignited. They changed that era, they created a new era. 4. 1921 was just the beginning. The movie 1921 just used the art of light and shadow to reproduce that extraordinary period of time. This is a journey full of hardships. Over the past 100 years, many have fallen and many more have moved on. On the road opened by the pioneers, generations of communists are still moving forward. Just like this year's National College Entrance Examination composition, the test questions are as follows. The Communist Party of China has gone through a century of history. The revolutionary culture and advanced socialist culture bred in the great struggle of the party uniting and leading the people have been deeply integrated into our blood and soul. We celebrated festivals such as May 4th, July 1st, August 1st and October 1st. We sang songs such as March of the Volunteers and without the Communist Party, there would be no new China. We read works such as Serving the People, Kai Nguyen Chun Snow, Lotus Lake and Red Rock, The revolutionary martyrs we admire such as Li Dazhao, Xiao Minghan, Fang Haiman, Yang Jingyu, and the role models we learn from such as Lei Fen, Jiao Yulo, Jian Suisun, Huang Danian, etc. Our spirits are nourished and inspired. There is sunshine in our hearts and strength under our feet. Our future will be integrated into the new journey of the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. We are in a promising era. The final composition requirement is to combine the above materials and write an article with the theme of possibility and promise. My first reaction was 1921 and the founding of the party. If you have seen these works, the feeling may be even more different. From this point of view, 1921 is really not an ordinary movie. We watched its wonderful plot and unique acting skills, and we also sighed with emotion at that epoch-making history, which completely changed the passion of youth in China. The original intention has not changed, and it has been integrated into the blood and soul of our entire nation. The passion of the fire thieves spurted out, making China what it is today.